and Scott said that in '86 that maybe we should just cook it up. And when I came back home in '87, that summer, there was no more powder houses in Detroit.
Oh, you couldn't?
You couldn't buy powder anymore.
Oh.
Every place was selling these things. They didn't even call it, wasn't called crack yet. I
Just
think we
them
talked about it.
things.
It was them things. People
No,
come
I
up to
remember
the
when
spot.
I was first would be out and you out and guys would just be like, where them things? You got some of them things?
Yeah. It didn't even have a name yet. You know, you didn't have to be real smart in 1987 to make a ton of money selling crack in Detroit. If you had it,
It was selling.
it was selling. And the thing is, nobody.
So it was still limited who could get kilos of
Oh, for
cocaine.
sure. And nobody knew the disaster that was about to come.
This guy here, they was the first ones. They legends.
Dude, they learned. They those guys really pay respect to the OGs.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I talk to Demetrius loves the loves the Jewish OGs. He's like Tom. He's like, dude, I was right the other day, or not the other day, but he's on a time. I get him about once a month now because he only gets like 30 minutes a month. Or whatever.
Wow.
So, because he got in some trouble, he had a cell phone and all.
That's why he's still in jail. You keep asking why he's a bad inmate.
Cell phone don't give you that much time.
But he's like,
Especially how the
he
way
does
he
all.
got caught with a cell phone.
That's all he's reading.
He got
life.
Demetrius. He's like,
got
I was reading
life,
about Waxy
Both of
Solomon
them got
and
life. What
all
is
these
life?
old OGs. He loves Meyer Lansing.
Say
But when I started
both
reading
of
about all these other
they
Jewish
letters,
guys,
not numbers.
that's because my family was the Burnstein brothers who
Right.
ran the Purple Gang.
Right. Okay. I
So
heard that.
my great uncle lived at the top of the book
Is
Cadillac.
you in the kin to Sam Bernstein? You know?
I'm not related. I know him though.
Oh, you know? Okay.
There's the BE Bernstein,
Right.
or the lawyer Bernsteins, and the BU Bernsteins, and the gangster Bernsteins.
Right. It was nice meeting you, man.
Nice meeting you, sir. I'll see you.
We'll hook back up this week.
All right.
Right
Yeah.
on. So that's what you. And I know this nigga go here. And that's exactly what happened. Ran with Fat Joe and him. Fat Joe's wife killed him. He got carried away. It was so much money jumping off. Pep was doing 50 a day. Art was doing 50 or so a day. I told you he ran 2 million in 20 days. And boom, feds was everywhere. I mean, they was everywhere. Following Tristan to school. Everywhere you
So
go.
wait a minute, so y'all got
Everything is bugged.
so
all the
y'all
apartment
really
buildings,
didn't
the
get
house.
hot with the Wakefield move.
No.
That ain't where y'all
went
brought
down,
the heat.
Man, we ain't had nothing. We was dry then. Now he's searching. He went to New York. They was in the commission case. Doc told him, I wish you had got out a year earlier. We hit. Giuliani was wearing their ass out when me, him, and Pep went up there. He stayed and went to the Chinese
Now that's what
food.
you talking about, so that people know. You talking about the commission case that brought down all the Godfathers
All
when
of
they
them.
hit
Pops
all
went
5
up there
families.
to get
all,
what they owed him and to get back on. And they told him Rudy Giuliani had everything shut down. They couldn't do
You
nothing.
talking about the jury that your father gave it to them before he went
All
to
of
jail.
that. There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
you know about that.
Yeah, I know about that.
There you go.
See,
Went out
let me
there.
tell you. See, when Eddie got when they
And now, what would you say that jury would be valued at? Because I could already tell you what it was valued at when he came out. Because I could tell you who told him, Russ Cleaver. He asked my father when he was
Skyline
out there on
Jeweler.
Skyline.
that's
he
where
said,
we got
"Eddie,
it from. That's where we
Eddie,
got all our juries
do
from.
you still got that ring? Do you know what that ring going for you?" He said, "I might be able to put my hands on
Hold
it."
it.
That's the
Do
exact
you
words
know when
said
he
to
bought
Russ
that ring?
Cleaver.
I remember when he bought that ring.
You was there. I was too young.
He paid $70,000 at that particular time.
And what time when you was
that
this
was
about?
it was in the 70s.
Now you want to hear his
So that's
version?
about
Now,
700,000
Let me
today's
tell
money.
you what he said.
Man, this was one motherfucking
I
rock.
ran a Rolls Royce on my finger. That's all he used to. I got a Rolls Royce
We
on my
paid,
finger.
we paid $30,000 for the
I'm telling
rolls.
you. I
And the
told
ring,
you what he
the
said.
ring was worth
I
more
told you what he
than
The
said.
two
ring was
rolls.
worth
I
two
just-
Rolls Royces.
Yeah.
I just told you.
His
what he
ring,
said.
so let me put that
With a
second.
Rolls
His
Royce on
ring,
my finger.
you could have
That's
bought
what
2
he used to
Rolls
say.
Royces in that for
For the prices we paid for that
that
one
one
Rolls
ring.
Royce.
Telling
That's
you.
right.
That's what
See,
he
man,
used to say.
from 69 up until the time Eddie went to jail in 76,
Now,
I rode with
tell
him
him-
every day.
tell him.
I pick him up in the
Tell
morning
him.
and drop him off
now,
at night.
Tell me this.
What?
Tell him what you estimate the property you had that you let go would be worth today.
From what I had,
Right in the area that it was in,
Man.
what you see
So it's
today,
about
it would
working,
be at least worth
Hey,
$3 million.
I would have got at least 2 or 3 million for it right now.
Cause you was in the same area with
I'm
Dodo.
right. I was right in the same area.
I know.
The two buildings that I had, I could.
telling
But
you.
today, man,
If you go there
That's
now,
right.
nigga, it cost you $2,500 rent to stay there.
that's right.
Well, that after hour
what
joint
it
where your
costs.
Uncle Willie was
Right
at
there with
there.
Times Square Bar,
John
right there in the
and
corner,
Erskine.
John on Erskine.
That building's for sale right now for $4 million.
Yeah,
But check this
I
out.
just told
On
you,
Mac, you understand, right across the street from the hospital, they charge you $3.99 for one loaf. You understand?
$399,000.
That's right.
$400,000.
That's right. Hold it, but I'm gonna tell you something gonna fuck you up right now. Over there on
These are
Townsend,
poorest places.
on Townsend,
I had a spot on Townsend.
and listen to me on
Field
Townsend,
in Townsend.
between Kirchhoff and Lafayette, it's a Catholic church over there. The old school's behind the church. They just renovated the school and they bought the lot behind it and built condos. And I just called just to ask what they charge for them lofts over there. They got 2 and 3 bedroom, you understand, lofts over there, right? You know what this motherfucker told me, man? He say the 2 bedroom loft, the small one, they want, you understand, they want $400,000 for them. And they say the 3 bedrooms, you understand, they gonna cost $600,000.
So now on your next episode, I'm giving you one right now.
What?
Break down the type of money y'all would be legally rich now. If he had kept Hancock,
Well, that puts
got
you-
all that money off Hancock. If you had kept your buildings, got all that money off your buildings, legally, you all would be worth today now what? Because Hancock, he'd have probably got $2 million for that.
No, he'd have got more than that.
Yeah, yeah.
See?
I mean, put it like this.
If you just go through
Yeah.
legally where we was hustling and doing,
Yeah.
this is what the property is worth now.
And then-
John Iron Erskine, $4 million. Uncle Willie lived on that corner, man.
All the property, you understand, that was down
All
there, the
y'all
black,
spots.
all the black
All
people
the
had
black
that.
bottom.
Freaking
Black
Steve,
bottom.
right there on Erskine and Brush, right today. He used to be his after hour joint.
You need to break
This
it
here,
down.
let me tell you something. They made a restaurant right there, a kosher hot dog place right there on Brush. Right across the street from where we made the first
Which I
video.
ride around and see
Yeah.
white folks walking. I can't believe that's white folks out there walking. And
I know.
Oh, you got the Great Ghost. That's one of the fanciest
I'm talking about
restaurants.
off Woodward where it was
You
just
talking about
like
Erskine
the
and
alley.
what?
Have you seen the alley?
Which one?
The alley off Woodward. They got a business. The alley. You go walk up in the alley.
Oh, yeah, I
get
know
some-
what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, don't you remember that the niggas that shooting dope, getting high?
I
Freddie
know.
used to hang up in there. What are you
Man,
talking about?
let me tell
Drinking
you
wine back there, man.
Let me tell you
Are
something.
kidding me?
Where all the
Nigga, you
where
walking
all
that
the
alley
white
in
folks
my
there
day.
right today? Let me tell you something. It wasn't no black person, no white person.
Man, that
who
was
come
black
down
man.
that area.
Hell no, that's what I be trying to tell him when he ride around. I said, man,
You couldn't.
I be fucked up. I said, man, you see what I'm seeing?
Well,
Where
he
they
can't
walking
imagine
at?
because he knows that area that is Midtown. He don't
Yeah, I
know.
seen it.
But what
there
he
was
see
a
is
time.
Midtown, you understand?
Was the gutter.
Hey, let me tell you something. That still ain't
Now,
down
Butch,
where we was
let
going.
me ask you this. Let me tell him this. He was talking about this. Now, they got the lean. You know what lean is.
Yeah,
That
they
costs
call
something.
it right.
How it was when y'all was buying the red. It wasn't no better or worse now. It wasn't.
That was Amanil. I was hung up on that. That's what they call a lean. Now back then it was Amanil. And did this young guy, you understand? I don't know if you know the guy. When I came home out of jail, I had to call out on Grand River with my partner was Rick.
See,
You
you
understand?
need to tell that.
Did this him. Let me show you something. Show you what that lean did to this motherfucker, him. This boy get big money,
Youth,
man.
pay attention. This is your future on lean.
Yeah.
This is what these niggas need to see. That'll give him hits. If he break it down, nigga, I was strong out on lean back then. Nah, was it as strong back then as it is now?
Yeah.
That's the
Same
question.
thing. Same
See,
thing.
Amanil. They changed the name.
cut the color too, Butch.
Bird purple.
Change the color. I tried to tell you.
Yeah.
We used to buy it from a house right there on Brush. They used to always sell it. We used to buy it to go to the Fox Theater.
I used to go over there on a Hamilton
And
and
they used to
Tuxedo.
always
Yeah.
keep it.
Yeah.
You go in there and buy a bottle, and it was
Oh,
red.
ain't nothing
and
new, young man.
It was always
Ain't nothing
red,
new under
and
the
that
sun.
shit
I
didn't
was
say it was
strong.
new, I'm just saying,
that
like,
shit
that's
was
the new
strong.
trend.
It keep you
It's a
sleep.
trend now.
I couldn't fuck with it.
It
Yo,
do.
you never
It's
go
just
to
a
sleep.
it's a downer. It's just
I'm
like
just
boy.
saying it's a trend.
It's
It's
just
like
like
boy,
that. That's
because
what
it's
it
got
is.
codeine in
Let me
it.
show you
That's
something. Come here, let me
what's
show you
fucking you up.
something.
It's the
Let me show you
codeine.
something. This boy, you understand?
Don't make it seem like I sip
this
lean
boy-
now.
I'm just telling you
Yeah.
how far it go back.
Oh, wait a minute. Why we doing it here? Like, you done heard my man Eddie talk about him. You done probably
show
heard
some-
people in the street. One
This
second,
guy
bro.
here-
Just let them know that this is Jelani's Tasting Table. If you want to get some of that
See him?
good, that 420
See what he
cooking,
got to say?
Yeah.
this the
This
man
motherfucker
who's behind the
big
scene.
money, man. He
Let me
died.
go ahead. What was you saying? I'm sorry about that. What was that? on
That
the phone?
lean, that lean, you understand? That is just as dangerous that it's just as dangerous, you understand, as opiates. That's all it is. It's a down high. It ain't nothing but boy. You understand? But what I'm saying is, people don't realize I was hung up on cough syrup back in the 70s, but they called it Amonil.
Wow.
Now, you understand, they call it lean. And like I said, a lot
Was
of
the
people don't.
strength as strong?
It was just as same, just as strong.
just a different color. All
Just
they
a
do
different
is change
color.
the color.
That's right.
That is, but
That's
the same
just,
strength.
That's just like then. That's what Eddie used to have. He used to pump my ass up with those goddamn dibs when I was making
There you
trips.
go.
Going, you understand, to
The
California.
dance
all
was
over
the
country.
big thing, and that was a big thing.
That
But
was
they
a
were
diet
weight
pill.
loss pills also.
That's what
right?
a diet. It was a diet pill.
There you go.
But it had you understand speeding just like cocaine, and I would be up for weeks, man, at a time.
Wow.
And they changed that C codes and all that.
Was they addictive?
Well, you know what? A lot of people wouldn't believe me. I just, when I didn't have it, I didn't have it.
So it really wasn't addictive.
No,
it
not
was
to
something
me.
that you was
But a
gonna
lot
have
of-
if
right.
you need
But
it.
a lot of them
people just-
housewives, they
a
say
lot
that
of people
term.
Crave it. If you didn't have it, you
No,
didn't. If
no.
you gonna
And that's
do
just
it,
like, and just like with the
When them
lean.
dibs going for like $20 a pill, even back then, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole they did this shit when
Yeah,
when they was going out
Off the
off market, they was charging me $80 a pill.
Wow.
Yes,
That's back in the day.
That was back in the
was
70s,
wonder
man.
pill.
In the 70s, man.
Government always do
That's
that.
right.
Always.
80 a pill.
That's right. When it was going out the
Thank
pocket,
you.
$80 a
Now you get it
pill.
from the
Look here,
horse's
man.
mouth.
And I liked them so much. You understand? I had a reward on them motherfuckers. And Eddie, he been putting money out the street. If anybody see a black Butch in the dab, he said, "I'm gonna run their ass out of town."
Fat man didn't put a
Yeah.
bounty. He didn't put a bounty on the dead man. Dead man gonna end up dead.
And that's just like,
Messing
and just
with
like, you
black
understand,
Butch.
just like
That's
the money and shit that we was getting back in that time. Like I had broke it down before. Just like, you understand, the biggest Cadillac, you was paying $12,000 for each car. $12,000. That was
12,000 back then,
That's
which
right.
is 120,000
And
today.
for the Telsman, that was the biggest Fleetwood.
Yeah.
12,000. I mean, loaded. You understand? The Mercedes Benz, 450 SEL, 18,000. The Rolls Royce, 30,000. Now, when I'm saying them same cars, they 200,000 and 300,000.
Because inflation
So
then went
right.
up.
Half a million.
That's right.
Because everything is 10 times.
That's right.
So that's what I be trying to explain to people.
The money that we was
And I'm
getting.
not, and again, Scott was just here. I'm not knocking BMF or any of them because them guys all did big things.
Man, you got
But the
to
money
take
count,
your hat off
real-
for the brothers that come afterward because
Right.
this is the truth about it.
Go ahead.
These are the one that paved the way for them to come. So give BMX all the
Oh,
credit.
you-
Oh, I do. I was just.
And they deserve it. Big Meech, anytime I ever fucked with anybody who fucked with him was A1.
No, we ain't
That's
knocking
all
that.
I ever
I'm just
said
talking on
about
the money
brother.
count deal.
But-
But that if you guys had
He was
30
always
million
A1.
in the
I
70s,
understand. I
real
understand.
Wall Street white folk math say 30 million in
It's
the
about
70s,
300
300
million,
million.
about 300
That's
million.
all I'm saying.
Oh,
so when
yeah.
you talk to me about 50 million or 60 million, the reality is, I'm gonna just say it. Y'all money dwarf what all of them did.
But hold
That's
on,
just
hold
the
on.
truth.
Like,
$30
hold on.
million in legal fees.
Let me explain something to you.
That's
Like-
300, but you got to understand for the audience to know that is the exact same white folk Wall Street math. That's the same as 300
But
million
listen
today.
to what I'm telling you, man. I always say it's a whole lot of guys probably done had just as much more money than what Eddie didn't have since that time.
Stayed
But
off
I'm gonna
the
tell you
radar.
something. Ain't no guy or anybody that crew that I know that even know about, they wasn't getting as much money we was getting. I'm talking about on profit wise. What we was doing, man.
Was you
we
putting
were-
the 80 on it?
Man,
Is that
listen
not,
to me,
is
man.
that not a
Man,
rumor? That's the truth.
Listen to me, man. I was the one doing it. We was paying $60,000. I was going up in New York with the Gambino family, paying $60,000 a key. And see, back during that time, they wasn't weighing it on a scale. They was giving it to us in quarters, unless they probably was weighing it. But that's the way we was dealing with it, with quarters. We was getting 220 quarters in every key, and I would bag them up in 25. So that would be 9 bags of 25s. I would take one bag and put a 9 on it. That'll make 10. So what I'm saying, man, you understand? We was taking, you understand, 10 keys and making it into 100.
But
So
now,
that
you
10
give
keys.
the dollar amount.
All right.
Break it down, dollar amount.
All right, now listen to me.
60,000 for the package.
Right, listen.
Break it down.
All right, did this here.
Go ahead. How much a key?
60,000 a key.
And say y'all had 10 keys.
We take one key and make it 9 keys, 10 keys.
So now you got 10 keys.
All right, now did this here.
Okay.
Now when we take that and pack it up, we would take it and put them in quarter spoon, 200 quarters in a bag. That would be a key. We was charging the guys who was serving, we was charging them 30,000 a key. So we got 10 keys, 10 times, we was getting 300,000 on one key. Selling it, you understand?
Say that again one more time. When it was all said and done, y'all was netting 300,000 off a key.
After we put a 9 on it.
Or 9 on it.
Right, that make it 10 keys. Listen now, we only paid 60,000 for that key, right?
Right.
How much is that? That's 240,000.
Right.
Profit.
Profit.
Oh, no, but that ain't the best part of it.
Okay.
We would take a quarter of that shit.
After you hit it with a 9.
No, off the top. Before we put the 9 on it, we would take 1 quarter off the top. We would put 80 quarters of mix on there. That's
80 quarters
80
of mix.
quarters of mix. Quinine, dormants, and lactose.
On 1 quarter.
On 1 quarter. I did this in. Then after we do that, we would get $45 a quarter. Now multiply that.
You took 1 quarter and put an 80 on
That's right, made 81 quarters.
it. Okay. And then how much does the quarters go for?
We was $45.
And a quarter weighs what today? What is that?
Wait a minute.
It's
Wait a
7
minute.
grams.
So it's 7 grams.
That's right.
Give it to them today so they'll understand it
Yeah.
in today's term.
This is what a quarter is, right?
7 grams.
Like a gram would be 4 spoons. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
what would you charge for a gram in that day? Or y'all didn't even
We
sell?
didn't sell no grams. We were selling ounces and quarters and eighths and stuff like
Where
that.
would you go to get a gram from?
Butch, y'all was 10 times your money.
I know it. We was doing more than that. This is the reason why I
You
tell
was 10 times the money.
Listen to me, man. Listen to me, man.
Every 60 at minimum. At minimum.
That's right.
If y'all just wholesale, every 60 turned into 600,000.
And now remember this.
But really,
You started
that
at
key was really
95.
turning into, like you said, about $250,000.
That's right.
Y'all was actually
That's
turning
right.
$60,000, 60,000 into 250,000.
And we had
But remember now, the dope is coming from 95, 96.
It's the French Connection,
and then another thing that helps you get money, it was being consistent. Every time I go cop, it would be the same thing the time before.
No gypsy.
Nothing was never changed. When I go get it, I didn't have to get a check or nothing.
That was the golden era of the mob.
That's right. That was the mob. That was the mob. And then, like I say, man, and then what I was saying,
It was actually the golden era.
we had a spot. We had one spot. We was picking up about 100 to 150,000 every day in packs. In packs.
Wow. Well, you said, and Japs talked about it a little bit, and Dolph talked about it, and you was there with 5-0.
Yeah. See that 5-0, that's who I started off with.
When Eddie's father, when your father got out the wholesale business, 5-0 and Dolph, and which your father was a genius. All he did was basically set up franchises.
Yeah.
Because they would still get the product from him.
Now when he started doing that, I was still moving to him. He kept me with him. Then I was the one, you understand, that was serving them.
You had moved up the ladder from 5-0 because of
Yeah, but see, I was with Eddie then before. I had got with Eddie after, you understand.
After Hancock or before Hancock?
Yeah, that was before Hancock.
You had already started.
I was there. I was with 5-0 then.
You was at 5-0
Right.
during the Hancock
right.
time.
And then the little
So let me say
disagreement.
this. When Lodge died, you worked for 5-0.
That's right.
How long after that did you get with Daddy?
Shit. less than a year. Cause the first car I had
Less
was
than a
the
year.
first car I had was the Livestock. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's why I figured
Yeah.
it. That's why I asked him that
Yeah.
question.
That was
His
the
live
first car Cadillac
right
that I
here.
had was
Yeah, live
Eddie's brother
Cadillac.
car. Live.
Wow.
Yeah, and see, and then Eddie took a liking to me, man, because like I said, I was the youngest one out the whole crew, and Eddie loved my mother, man. He loved Miss Elton, and Miss Elton loved him. I'm talking about, you understand? She was the only person who could talk some sense in this motherfucker, man. So Eddie was a crazy motherfucker. You understand? Like I say, if me and him had never started fucking with that cocaine, no telling what would have happened. And then,
Let me ask you one question. Tell me what you say y'all did most to fuck the laws up. Cause y'all had it good before the laws changed. Y'all have to do some real foul shit.
The mandatory
and
minimums.
No, they could basically buy the case. I mean, seriously. Motherfuckers that got caught. Cornelius Pitts told me out of his mouth. He didn't beat the case for a motherfucker got caught down at the Baltic Hotel or something. They got caught with 2 keys and Cornelius Pitts.
Let me tell you something. Cornelius Pitts, I tipped my
Shout
hat
out
to
to
him.
Cornelius Pitts.
Yeah, and his son,
Brian
Brian Pitts.
Byron.
Understand?
Byron Pitts. Shout out to
Is he
B.
carrying on the
Yes, he
tradition?
is.
Yes,
he
he
better-
is.
he in his father's footsteps.
Oh,
he really
I
is.
like to hear
and
that.
like
B
I said,
is nice. Shout out to
like
and let
Byron.
me tell you something. Pitts, you stand was one guy I always give him respect. 5-0 was one of his main customers.
You lied.
No,
Taking a shot at the cop.
I mean, let me tell you something. 5-0 brought more cases to him than anybody I know, and he took care of it too. When 5-0, you understand, fell off the horse, you understand, when no one getting no money, he was strung out of shit. Pitch would go down in the joint, the dope joint, and bring 5-0 money, man. I remember that.
Is that right?
Yeah, he did that.
So Pitts was 5-0s, man.
That's right.
See, you just told about 5-0.
Yeah.
I told
Yeah.
you 5-0 was something.
See, let me
else,
tell you
man.
something.
I
5-0.
tell y'all.
Let me tell you something. A lot of people didn't think, when they found out what I was doing, after they found out what I was doing in the street hustling stuff, they didn't believe that. Not Tommy Shaw. I was that square motherfucker in the neighborhood. You understand? Could have been me. You understand? Because I left, you understand, the gas station in Chevrolet Gear and Axle, you understand, and jumped to Cadillacs.
Wow. From the gas
And
station, from
gas
pumping
station
gas to
Chevrolet.
riding Cadillac.
That's right, man. I'm talking about, I was 17, 18 years old.
And so people
That's
should
a
think
mess.
about that too.
And
Because
you
I was just
always said, Black Dispatch, you
Huh?
was the first original young boy.
That's right.
You
That's
always
right.
said that you was the very first original young boy, and you got a hell of a long run.
Yes, I did. And then, like I say,
y'all was young, man. Y'all were young millionaires.
But
And
see,
people,
he was
people
able to
don't
dump
put
that case,
But
man.
I
He
mean,
get
can
it
you
down.
imagine? You were 17, 18,
That's right.
19 years old,
Right.
and all of a sudden you go from working at the gas station.
driving feet was
Now you're living. Now you're in Rolls Royces. You know, it's even beyond what the rappers go through once they hit it big.
That's right.
It's
So how was
beyond
it for you
what you
when
go
you
through
did
when
that?
you get drafted in the league.
But see,
How did it feel?
let me tell you something. It felt good, the motherfucker. God being
I mean,
a young.
did you feel invincible? Did
No,
you feel
I
on
didn't.
top?
No,
did you feel you could do anything?
let me tell you something. I put it like this here. I was out of my mind so much, you understand, I really didn't pay attention to the good Lord, you understand, had his arms around me. I'm gonna be true with you. Some of the shit I was doing. But I'm gonna tell you this here. One thing I did learn, I learned a lot from Eddie. What a lot of people don't realize. You supposed to make the money, you ain't supposed to let the money make you. And that's where a lot of guys, you understand, separate, you understand, from getting money. I'm talking about, man, when the guys go to making money, you supposed to handle that, but the money make them.
Let me say this, and I say this, and you can answer it better than anybody. Most guys you work for don't want you to make no money.
No, they count your money. They count
They
your
want to
money.
make sure how much you make.
That's right.
The fat man wasn't like
Eddie wasn't like that. And Ed would go
He
off
was
on a
not
motherfucker.
like that.
If a person, you understand, come up and say, man, do a Black Butch work for you? Don't no nigga work for me. We hustle together. That's what you understand. He
That's how the
always
feds
said.
nail
And
a
that's the
nigga.
way he
If he
was.
call
And let me
me
tell you
boss,
something.
nigga,
Let me
you
tell you
fired.
something. They talking
Don't
about
ever call me
Eddie.
boss.
Eddie, you understand? Eddie didn't have to pay a motherfucker to take no hit or nothing for him. If anybody that knowed him and they hear
Some slick shit
a
going on.
motherfucker trying to understand, do something to him, they took care of their goddamn self. Whether or not they didn't ask for nothing, whether he give it to him or not. That's the way it was with him, man. That's the type of guy he was, man. And that's the reason why the feds couldn't go nowhere in this country
And
get no case on him for income tax. Because everywhere we went and spent money, really looked like giving motherfucking salesmen $5,000, $10,000, put it in your pocket. Just you understand, hey,
take this.
Take care of this here. Them feds they followed us all over the United States, man. We was all down to South America, Africa, Amsterdam. I mean, all over the world trying to get cases where we was going in different stores, spending money, man. Ain't want no motherfucker gonna tell on your ass and you getting them more money than they make a year, probably.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's the tradition of the fact.
And what I'm saying,
it's good to hear somebody else tell it.
Let me tell you something. Eddie was one of the baddest motherfucker in this country.
Oh, that's no doubt.
And you know what? He got a lot of respect. And another thing too, I was with him from sun up to sundown. He didn't make no move without me. It was always me and him. Now, Courtney, he was just as close to him as I was.
You can't forget that.
I can't. Let me finish this here. I can't leave Courtney because Courtney was right there with him.
That's right.
But did this him. I was his main man. I was the one, you understand, that rode with him from state to state, country to country.
Ain't no question.
He didn't make no move unless he asked me. And
Y'all was always gone. Daddy was at home.
I know it.
You and Eddie be gone anywhere.
Half the time.
Months.
Half the time.
I live next door to y'all, so y'all be gone all the time.
Half the time, Courtney, you know it was. Unless we got in some trouble, the phone ring. That's right. That's right.
Birmingham.
That's right. That's right.
Run
That's
next
right.
door. Eddie said,
That's right.
there it is. That's
Just like when let me
get
tell you
in
something.
trouble.
Like Eddie was talking about his daddy, you understand, was out on appeal for 8-9 years. Let me tell you something. He would have been on the street longer than that
That's the
if
truth.
he hadn't made that stupid ass move with me, him, and Huckabuck.
There you go. There you go.
Because that's what got him
Violated.
So you think he might have been able to maneuver a little
Yeah,
bit
he could
longer?
have stayed. I can't say how many years, how much longer he
Now,
been.
let me finish this now. But as soon as he went in a year later, that Philly case he beat.
Yeah.
Remember, he
Right,
beat
I
that
remember
on
that.
appeal.
Right.
So now he would have been out on that one bond because that one case
That's
was
right.
beat.
No, he
That's
had
right.
beat the Philly case
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
He had beat the. He had beat.
He
No, no, no.
celebrated that in jail.
He beat that.
He beat them for
He
winning
beat the
jail.
Philly.
Sure.
Milton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Milton
I
and
got
them.
foul.
Yeah, he beat that before he went to jail.
I look at
Milton.
that.
And let me show you how stupid, you understand, he went to jail for. Me, him, and Huckabuck. I'm at home minding my motherfucking business. He gonna call me and say, Black Butch, man, let's go to Vegas. I said, go where? He was with Joe Weaver.
Oh shit.
Him and Joe Weaver called me and said, Black Butch, let's go to Vegas. I said, what's up, man? He said, man, I'm coming to get you. Put your clothes on. Joe Weaver driving. When I seen that, and he had Joe Weaver, I said, well, Joe Weaver's gonna drive. It was me, him, and Joe Weaver, right? He said, yeah. I said, Joe Weaver, you understand, man? They don't know how to drive.
And he got a license.
They ain't got no license. We was on Chrysler. We get ready to go to 94, right? West. Joe Weaver going east. I said, Eddie, Joe Weaver, you understand, man, is going the wrong goddamn way. He said, Joey. Eddie already was happy. He was happy before he picked me up. And he said, man, I said, man, how in the fuck Joe Weaver? I said, you ain't gonna make it to Inkster with Joe Weaver driving. So he said, that's all right. Black Butch, get up under the wheel. I got up under the wheel. I came up at Van Dyke. He said, we're taking drop Joe Weaver off. I dropped Joe Weaver off. He said, let's go get Huckabuck. So it was me, him, and Huckabuck. He said, man, let's go get, because I had this particular person who had the flakes, the pharmaceutical flakes.
Yeah.
So I went and got 2 ounces there. We on the way to Vegas. I'm driving. He don't want nobody to drive really but me. I drove all the way, you understand, to Texas border. I'm running out. Cocaine. He said, man, you ain't got no. I said, no. So he was accusing me of Huckabuck stealing the cocaine. So this motherfucker here, he said, man, I said, well, we can get some more when we get in Vegas. He said, no, man, turn around, make a U. We going back to that. I said, man, you got to be out of your cocksucking mind. I said, I done drove all the way from Detroit already. You want to go back to Detroit? He said, that's all right, pull over. I pulled over. And that motherfucker, man, got on the wheel and went to driving like a bat out of hell. No license, nothing. Then all of a sudden, you understand, he thought he saw Donna Jean in the car. This motherfucker,
that's trouble there.
went to jumping across the seat, the goddamn seatbelt caught him in his leg. Man, they whooped his motherfucking ass. That nigga was he was soaking wet, man. Just saying, man.
At 300 pounds,
Yeah.
can you imagine
Man,
That's
that?
a long
At
night.
300
That's when a
pounds.
long night gone
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm talking about for real. We had 150,000 in the back seat.
Same 1.5 million today.
So after he got the argument with me and Huck said, man, I'm glad. I hate I came with y'all two crazy motherfuckers. You understand?
Oh, you wasted
Yeah.
his time.
He
This is
said,
the same trip that ends up leading to the
We're
violation.
going to jail, right? I'm telling
Go
you.
to jail.
So he done made the U-turn. We on the way back after he got falling out with me and Huck and shit. So he's driving like a motherfucker. 150 on the back seat. This motherfucker, we can't. Police state trooper pulled him over. We was in Union, Missouri. I'd never forget it. It's raining like a motherfucker. The police just there stopped us. Eddie had some driving license, wasn't his. Just
three
there.
black motherfuckers in a Cadillac.
And then they looked, they said, they got on the radio, said, we got some bank robbers. You know what I'm saying? They thought they had some bank robbers.
They saw that
They had
money.
$150 in the back seat. And residue all on the back seat where we been blowing. You understand? No, they seen we was high the motherfucker. So they put Eddie in the car, and they had me and Huck sitting in the car. We sit there for about an hour, and they said, y'all follow us to the police. I said, oh, Huck Butch said, oh Lord. They finna lock all our motherfucking ass, yeah. So they took and locked us up and shit the next
You
morning.
want to be used to that.
Yeah, I'm used to that. I'm talking about for real. Courtney yesterday sent me and Henry down there. And he came and got us the next day. And then we drove back together. And then he went to thinking about all this, what he did. He was wrong. He know he get ready to go to jail. I said, you goddamn right you is, man.
He went
I said,
right there from that moment.
Yeah.
You know,
And
now
then
he
when
go to
we made it back to Detroit, I don't think it was no more about a day or two.
Vikings.
That's right.
He could have at
Right
least
off
had
the
another
streets.
2 years because
Yeah.
the rest of the crew didn't have to turn
Yeah.
themselves in to
Man,
April
there was so
of the
much
next
money
year.
going down. They really
Yeah.
didn't want him to go down.
No.
But he was just
They got more
overacting
money
his
keeping
act.
him on. They got more money keeping him on the street.
He just was overdoing it. He was just
Yeah.
overacting his act. They give
Yeah.
him enough rope. And every time they give him rope,
And then the
he just
feds.
takes more. He
and
go hang himself.
you know what,
sooner
man?
or
Let me
later.
tell you
And
something.
that's what it was. Just having so much to do with the fuck you want.
They was on us
drunk
so.
with money.
The Fed was on us so long. They was on us so long. The way we did our thing, we learned a whole lot about ducking the goddamn feds. I'm talking about, boy. We used to have their ass all trapped in with different places to try to follow us and shit. Oh man, they used to have sometimes 5 or 6 cars on one person.
You remember how y'all used to cut through that trail coming around Southfield and cut through there and go to the freeway?
Yeah, I remember
Y'all
that.
made them close that shit
Yeah,
off. Y'all
I
beat
know
them
it.
so bad.
And we used to come in the house so
And
much,
they
go
do
out.
it in the dark. See, they would turn the lights off and swing through there, swing right to the freeway. The police keep going straight down and come around by the church to hit and come down the service drive to hit the freeway.
And-
They been and cut through there and gone.
And we used to come parking in front of the house, go out the back door, go over the fence into the church back parking lot. So
wow.
we had cars parked out there.
At the church.
At the church.
That's right. And
Yeah.
Eddie in them house, if y'all see it
Yeah.
on one of the
Right
videos,
there.
Yeah.
had a long gate. The
That's
house was gated.
Yeah.
Right
So
to the
you could
church.
never see what was going on.
No.
behind the gate or
we
in the
had
backyard.
we used to buy so many cars. We had cars staked out all over the city of
You
Detroit.
know, the newspapers wrote that Eddie had at one time 100 Cadillacs on the street.
Oh yeah, we used to go to Seymour Cadillacs right there on Jefferson and get 10 or 15 Cadillacs at one time and pay cash. We was buying so many Cadillacs. All we had to do, just certain people like me, Courtney, and Eddie, we can go in there and pick up any car we want and don't get no money. Just tell me we gonna come back and take care of it later. That's the way we was getting it, like that.
Wow.
That's
Well,
the way
yeah,
we
because
was
there was a story, what was that, D-Wit.
D-Wit.
D-Wit called Eddie and told Eddie, hey man, I'm in the crew, why ain't I got a Cadillac?
Yeah,
Everybody else got a Cadillac.
Yeah.
Eddie, all right, D-Wit.
Yeah.
Like you say, it just told D-Wit, go out there to the Cadillac dealer,
That's
tell him
right.
I said, give you a Cadillac.
That's right. And another person too. I know you don't remember. I know you remember Little Willie. Reverend Prince, Willie Willie.
Yes,
yeah,
I
he
do.
was with us too. This before he started preaching.
You
know what I'm saying?
kidding.
And he was running.
You
with
ain't
us.
never told
Yeah. And he got one to say, he got some of them same messages that D was said. Cause I was serving Willie. And so Willie, you understand, I went to Willie to go pick up the money and shit. I said, where the money at? I think he owed about 40,000. He come handing me, you understand, man, he go 20,000 And I heard Eddie say, hey, could nobody yesterday hustle with us if he didn't have a Cadillac? He took $10,000 and bought a Cadillac. Yeah, that's the way it was. I mean, that's the way money was coming, man. That's the way money
He
was
said,
coming.
I got to justify my
Yeah,
position in the
yeah.
crew, so I got to get
Eddie wanted, and any motherfucker that was really close to us and shit, when we went out and we all put our jewelry on, if the only way you knew was Eddie, because he had the EJ in his chest. Other than that, you couldn't tell who was there, because we all had a lot of jewelry.
No, he was a unique individual.
That's right.
In that way.
That's right.
You know, I spoke about it. I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
You know, he gave my old man $200,000 to buy a house.
So let
Then
me
gave him
ask
another
you this.
$200,000 to furnish the
Give
house.
Let me ask you this: how well did you know Fairleigh?
Did I know
Did you
Fairleigh?
come in the crew too late or what?
Oh, no, I know Fairleigh before she even got with Eddie. Because, you know, we all growing up together. C-Dell, Lil Jerry, Jap, all us, we all around the same age. You know, them all might be about a couple of years older than me. Now, her brother Jerry Riggs, you understand, me and him was real close. You understand? But Fairleigh, she was a sweetheart. I tell you one thing about her. She was stronger, more stronger than any nigga that's out here on the street. I'm talking about, you understand?
She could have sank all
Man,
y'all.
she could have, man, let me tell you something.
Everything.
And they did
Oh,
everything they could to make her turn. I'm talking about this girl, she had a habit out of this world. She had a habit. When they locked her ass up, they locked up at Rikers Island in New York.
Rikers Island.
They, you understand, she was sending letters to Eddie. All her letters would go to him. But when he would have Courtney sending different letters back to her, they wouldn't let them get to her. They trying to tell her, you see that guy ain't thinking about you. You might as well go on, you understand, turn him in and this and that and other. I mean, they did this shit for a long time until, you understand, Eddie got with Ross back and told him something ain't right. You understand, go up there and find her because I ain't getting no letters, no nothing. I mean, she ain't getting none of my letters, you understand, I've been writing. So he went up there and they took care of that shit. And that was the only way.
Ross.
That's right. Let me tell you, he was a bad motherfucker. You know, him and F.D. Bailey was partners. You know, and like I say,
Did you
And
ever
come to
meet
find
him?
out, just on a little side note that y'all know,
yeah, I met him.
What was your opinion of him?
Oh, he was. You could tell he was in the military. I mean, he just like he was a colonel. I mean, a general.
if y'all don't know, just look at me a little straight. Ross Black made his reputation as an incident in the Vietnam War. While you be talking about he's in a uniform, if you ever seen that movie Jag is what the Navy lawyers are.
Right.
When you're a naval officer and you're a lawyer, you're in the JAG. Right? It was called the My Lai Massacre. It was a bunch of high-ranking military people who was being charged with a massacre. They was all about to get court-martialed. Somebody been looking at the
I've
firing
seen this
squad.
story.
It was legal history, book of law.
Right.
Ross Black represented them
Well,
in the My Lai Massacre.
Yeah.
And once he won that case, his reputation, that was when you
Yeah.
talk about,
Yeah.
when he walk into the courtroom, the judge say,
Cease.
how are you, Mr. Ross
Yeah.
Black? How you
Cease.
doing, Henry?
Yeah.
How you
Yeah.
doing, Henry?
Yeah.
You know.
He walk in, that's who did.
Yeah, I mean, he was famous. But
He
you
let
know,
him
Effley
jack
Bailey,
him, though. That's why I used to
that
wear
was Ross Black
outfit
partner.
and everything.
At that same time that y'all had Ross Black,
Patty
come
Hearst
to find out.
when F.D. Bailey.
And Frank Matthews
That's
had
right.
Effley
That's
Bailey
right.
working on the case. How small the world is.
Yeah, it is right.
They had
The best.
Lord.
Hey, let me tell you
Frank
something.
had
Number one, always gonna go to where the money at.
Ain't that the
That's
truth?
right. But I want to say about a couple of people that I don't want to forget to talk about them. Now, it was a lot of people that grew up in that neighborhood. Damn near every young guy down there in that neighborhood, man, ended up being hell of a hustler. Another one named Robert Lucas. I know you'd have heard of him, haven't you?
Okay, I have heard that name.
Leon, he had a brother named Leon. He had a brother named Leon. He was
What
Robert.
about John Lucas?
No, but them two, his brother, they was getting big money too. Cause he had Jeffrey Projects locked down before the young boys. Yeah, and then he had a storefront right there on Woodward, on the other side of Claremont, right where your mother was working at the nursing home. Right, this right down the street where Hollywood. Charles Holloway had a store right there on Woodward. It was right next door to him. I mean, this man, he had a sign on the door telling people where to go. First, he started selling stuff out of the joint, and then he got so hot on Woodward, he had the address, you understand, every day telling where people to go. And he was riding around with his limousine every day. He was getting big money, man. Robert Lucas, he
Robert
rode up.
Lucas,
Yeah,
yeah.
Robert Lucas. And he had a brother Leon. Robert got killed a few years ago. It was on 48 Hours. He was making a deal over here on Hopper and McClellan. He was selling big weed then. And he was going to make a deal, and they ended up killing him.
Wow.
Yeah, Robert
He
Lucas.
was found in the trunk of a Cadillac.
Yeah, you remember that?
I seen the story
That's who
on
that
48
was.
Hours.
That's who it was.
He was
You
in
had
the
mentioned the
trunk
guy
of a Cadillac.
J.C. Rex.
J.C.
He was
Rex.
kin to somebody else.
To Paul Orr.
Paul, right?
They was brother-in-law.
Because
Who's older or younger?
Between who?
JC.
I think he was older than, both of them did, now.
Right.
But
I think
JC was older. He was
JC
older.
See,
go
that's
all the way.
Courtney say broke it open.
Broke it open.
Yeah.
for
Wasn't
Yeah.
nobody.
Yeah, he
Deal
was
with
getting
y'all
money.
after the Buster
Yeah.
raid. That's the story the old
Yeah, he
man
was
tell.
one- he was one-
After the raid on Hubble,
And
people
then it-
backed off.
and then it was
JC
Got it going.
got it going.
And,
yeah.
and another guy by the name of Chip. And another guy they used to call Frankenstein. His name was Maurice. He stayed on Grassy.
Now this ain't Maurice Down.
No. Another Maurice that was getting keys. 3-4 keys every 2-3 days. And his woman was named Tish. You understand? Like Rudolph was real close to him. You understand? But like I say, he was another guy that was really, copying from us. Yeah.
Now did you know Greg and Rose Nelson down
Did
the
I
front?
know him? Shit, many shootouts that me and 5-0 had. When we used to have shootouts down there about we was trying to steal each other customers.
Cause it was Greg and Rose.
Right.
The reason how Fat Frank come in. Fat Frank started off working for Rose and
man.
Greg
And
Nelson.
then he got his own place.
And
you understand?
then, yeah.
And Frank was.
They was
rolling
Project
himself.
Legends.
Oh yeah.
They was
all them was on the
the
same
Nelsons
block.
moved a lot for your daddy.
A whole lot.
A lot for your
A
daddy.
lot. Yeah, I was cool with our whole family, man. You understand? Their mama, she was real sweet too. But I can't forget about TD. That's the rock.
Top dog.
Yeah.
D.
And
That's
Pat Rob.
And Pat Rob.
man.
I ran into them.
Yeah.
Shout out to TD. Shout out to
Yeah,
Pat Rob.
T.
I ran into Pat Rob maybe
That's
a
where-
year and a half
Yeah.
ago.
You know, he the one that got that department from Obama.
That's right.
He
Who
got
did?
Pat Rob.
Pat Rob.
He
TD.
home. He home.
Yeah.
He doing well. Looking
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Right on. Congratulations,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And,
beautiful.
and then
It's
another thing,
always beautiful.
Milwaukee Jack and Treacherous, them was my guys. You understand? Like Pet Treacherous, he was known, man. He was just like he was pimping, a gambler. He was an all-around hustler. And then he started selling drugs. And then, like I say, you understand, when I remember the first time me and Eddie served him some, we served him some at the motel on Jefferson, the Click, the Shorecrest Motel.
Yeah.
That's where we used to meet him at.
Still open.
Oh yeah, it is, right.
Yeah.
And Treacherous still living.
Is he?
Yeah, Milwaukee.
Shout out to Treacherous
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
Milwaukee, you understand, man. He was getting money, man. He was well known, man. Not just
John
in Detroit,
Mays.
all over the United States.
I would second that because I listened at the Whispers album cover, and he's on the cover of their Christmas song. Milwaukee Jack is on the cover. I'm wearing a little white.
Oh, he was the
Sailor's
shop.
hat.
He was one of the sharpest
Oh, yeah.
niggas you could see, man.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like I say, another guy I don't want to forget about. You understand? There's so many people that I can talk about because, man, I done lost a lot of my memory. And another guy name was Pratt, Fat Pratt. He understand. He used to be one of the salesmen at the cousin's shoe store.
Okay.
And by him being there, he met people from all over, United States, because niggas
Cousin
was
was
coming
famous.
everywhere.
Yeah, go to
And he got a lot of connection shit too. So he started, he didn't know nothing about drugs. And he just looked up on the connect, and he knowed who there was, because everybody buying his shoes down there. And me and him got to be real close too. He ended up going to jail on Butch Jones' case.
On that young boy.
Yeah.
How you do that?
I don't know, you understand? But anyway, he was on this case with them. And Milwaukee, he was one of the first people started selling
To the
to
young
the
boy.
young boys. Yeah, Milwaukee, yeah, he was doing that, And Pratt was serving a lot of people too. But and then Milwaukee,
His name was in the papers.
yeah, it was.
That crack guy.
Yeah, when Cousin Clue show, Cousin Shoe Store, when they went out of business,
Yeah.
Big Butch, he ended up getting the shoe store right there on John R. and Cadillac Boulevard. A lot of people thought that was Milwaukee's joke. Milwaukee ain't never had no shoe store. That was Big Butch store. Milwaukee would just be down there like that was like his office.
That was his office.
That's
Yeah, that
when
was
you
his
talk
office.
about where
Yeah,
you, because
yeah.
you talk about
That's
you
where I
met.
met him
Yeah,
at. That's
yeah,
where when
yeah,
Pops came
yeah.
home, that's where he was
Yeah,
set up
and
at.
see, Big Butch, yes, they had a brother named Watusi. They used to do a lot of gambling. And see, when Big Butch
So
had
if
that
you
shit.
know all them, you'd have to know Wayne, who
I
was
know.
working for them at the time, who wound up going to the city slicker.
I talked to Wayne yesterday.
Yeah.
Wayne called me all the time. I've been dealing with Wayne for about 40 years.
Another
Yeah.
Detroit legend.
Yeah,
Wayne
yeah.
at Broadway,
Yeah,
City
yeah.
Slick, another
And see,
Detroit legend.
and see, Big Butch, you understand? When he had that shoe store there, he had another one on Woodward in Holland Park. I forgot the name of it. He was selling the same kind of shoes the cousin them was shoes. He the one that had the, on Woodward, right? And he, you understand, he started going cocaine, going off on that cocaine and stuff, but before he got killed, you understand, he ended up shooting
What was behind him getting killed?
his brother's daughter, boyfriend, was jumping on all the time, and Butch had a little type, had a reputation, so the guy was kind of scared of him. So Butch was going over there on selling second, and one of the Poppy's brothers go over there to get his niece. When he went in there, the nigga was waiting on him, and the nigga, you understand, shot him in the head and killed him.
Damn.
Yeah. That was YT's daughter.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Like I
What,
say,
he
man.
thought Butch was coming to do
Yeah,
something to him?
yeah.
He was actually going just to get
Yeah,
his story.
he know, you understand, Butch wasn't coming over there just to talk to him or whatever, you understand. He was probably afraid, because Butch was getting money too. Matter of fact, that's how I meant to connect with the guy I had in California. His name was EJ. You hear me talked about EJ before?
Uh-huh.
He just died a few years ago in the federal penitentiary. He was a big guy there in California. He was serving all these niggas in Detroit back in the late 60s and 70s. Yeah.
Hey Butch, did you now Marzette, you by the time you got done, I know obviously you had heard about him. We trying to get a hold of some of his people.
Oh yeah, I know a couple of people. You understand? Matter of fact, I don't want to mention their name, but I know one of his women he used to be with. Matter of fact, you understand? You stay across from you when y'all was kids on Calvary and Woodward. You
Is
know,
that right?
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Matter of fact, watch y'all when y'all was a kid.
Oh, I know he talking.
Yeah.
I know he talking.
Yeah.
She was one of Marzette's women.
I don't want to call her name, but
Right,
like I said,
I just said
yeah,
she was one of Marzette's
yeah.
women.
We can get it popped up and like get it even better.
Yeah.
I mean, they can all
And it,
sit around maybe the
is
table
you
or something like that, and I can
you
record.
do with that? You still taping?
Yeah, go
All right,
ahead.
let me tell you about the property. You wanted me to say about that?
Yeah.
I had a couple of hotels down in the Brush Park area. Anybody that was known in that area, everybody know Dodo. Dodo owned more property down there than anybody. I'm talking about. He had the Fine Arts Theater. He had all them big buildings on John R., Atley, Erskine. I'm talking about he had all that property down there. He ended up getting killed. And like I say, I can only speak on the property that I had. I had one building, it was a 52 unit. And when I bought the building, it was in the 70s, I paid $14,000 for it. And it had 52 units. And I had another building, it was about 30 units. I didn't pay but 20 for that. Now, I know that they was coming through there, that all that property gonna be, you understand, be valuable.
Worth some serious money.
If I still had that property right now, man, I would have, you understand, 3-4 million, probably more.
No problem.
Right, but
you
I ended
cashed out with Dodo.
That's right. But I end up, you understand, getting indicted. You know how they do when they come.
You already know liens and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like I said, the money that we was getting back then, you just say it's 10 times that much it is now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If a nigga's getting 10,000 a day back then, it's just like 100,000 a day. But we was getting 100,000 every day.
Well, as they said on that Feds magazine cover,
Yeah.
basically you're talking about $1 million
Yeah.
a day because $100,000 a day back then is the same as $1 million now.
And me and Eddie used to have so much fun. I'm talking about, just imagine, you riding around the city, you got the biggest cars that they have on the market. You got enough money to do what you want to do, when you want to do it. You can go anywhere in the world, which we did. Me and him would be riding down the street. He said, "Goddamn, black boy, man, this got boys around this motherfucker here." He said, "Man, let's go London. Anyway, whatever you understand, yeah. Matter of fact, we had a goddamn map. He said, "Man, just point at the map and say that's where we going." And that's the shit we was doing. And I'm talking about we did it first class everywhere we went.
But tell us about how it was when you went to Rio and fell in love with
Oh, Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro.
Take them to Rio, man.
Rio de Janeiro. We went to every country in South America, from Rio de Janeiro all the way up to the Panama Canal. I'm talking about.
But when did you fall in love at?
In Rio. In Rio. They got the finest pictures you ever seen in your life. Rio. I mean, all over South
And
America.
I mean, how you catch up to it?
I mean, like I say, shit. Just like anywhere you go, where you understand where you.
I mean, was she selling pussy?
No,
Or
it's
was
just
she the
put it
type
like
of
this
girl
here.
you pulled out?
Hey,
You know,
she
styling,
was working in a
That part of the
restaurant.
world,
She
they
was
all-
working in a
So
restaurant.
you styling and profiling. She working in a restaurant. Go ahead and tell me
and
about
like
it.
I say, you understand, shit, they feel like that was a catch. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, you know, when they see money when they see it, so like I say, you ain't
What's
got
y'all
to say
tipper?
much.
Go ahead. What you
I can't
tipper?
remember what was tipping, but it was way more than it was me probably making a month.
And then you told her, "Come on, let's go out tonight."
Yeah, me and Eddie, you understand, we had dates with him and all that, man. We did everything, we did our thing. And like I
At
said,
what
man,
point
and
did
then
you
one
think
point
you
of
was gonna bring her back with
I
you?
told Eddie, I said, I'm taking this motherfucker with me. He said, "You crazy motherfucker, what you think you gonna have all of us put in jail?" You know? Yeah, I stayed in contact with her for a while, but you know,
Did you?
yeah, I did. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever go back and see her?
Not her, you understand? Yeah, like I say, you know what? Things are so much different than it was then.
Yeah.
Niggas now know they don't have no respect for one another. They let the money handle them instead of handling the money.
They don't share.
They don't share.
But I think the fact that y'all all really grew up together had a lot to do with it.
That was a whole.
You know,
tip.
y'all was a real,
Yeah.
y'all had a real community.
But still,
And you know
a
what,
soldier
man?
is a soldier, man. When a nigga earning like JC Rex, he's supposed to be getting it, man. When he come in the crew and he get in the crew and he throwing, he's supposed to get it.
Everybody that was hooked up with us, man, it was gentlemen. All of them. I mean, we just was blessed to have the guys that was with us.
Y'all got lucky.
Right. And another person I want to speak of, like I said, I can talk all day long. I'm going to say this here, this is going to be it for today. Stokes was a bad guy. I ain't saying bad person. He was, as far as the way he handled his business, the way he handled his after-hour joints, he got more respect than any joint in any city when it was him. Because the person know when they came to Stokes joint, a lot of people, you understand, feel like they had money. Well, you know, they can damn near go into any joint and get a goddamn doorman a tip or something. He didn't let you in and do anything. But not at Stokes joint. Come to Stokes joints and do some stupid shit like that. He gonna beat your ass right there in front of everybody in there. And I respect him for that, you know.
That's right.
You know,
He ain't gonna have
that's
nothing
right.
if he don't.
That's right. Yeah, he was the ladies' man too, and he didn't have no problem putting his hands on the police either. He done had a couple of incidents where he had to down their ass. Where they came in there to raid his joint, he was down.
He was on Shane, right?
On Shane and Ford.
He done been
And he
everywhere.
started off over there on a Cass in the Cass corridor area. That's where he started off at. Then he ended up having the pool room over there on Finkel in Wyoming.
Let me
That's
ask you
before he
this.
died.
He never sold drugs though.
No,
he
he-
only ran after hours.
So before he died, he was one of the biggest number men in the city.
So he ran numbers
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always tip my hat
Yeah.
to the numbers.
And I gave him a little. I gave him a little respect too. He did a little pimping too. Yeah. But Stokes was
Well,
a
I mean,
hell of a
after
guy.
I was joining, I'm sure it was a lot of broads there anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's the first joint where they started having a Superfly round. He the one started that. Having those dances in the joints. Yeah.
The beginning of the strip club,
Yeah.
Titty Bar
Yeah.
City.
And Superfly Ron was the money getting person too. He started hustling with Al Finch.
Oh shit.
That's who he started hustling with.
He
But
caught him in the beginning,
And then he
the
put,
good part.
right, he did. And he pulled himself
Caught him in the
on
good
he
part.
started getting money. That's the one you understand when they raided his house. He had all them exotic animals and stuff, lions and shit.
Superfly Ron.
Yeah, Superfly Ron, yeah.
Wow.
He just died a few years ago too.
Wow.
Yeah.
All the soldiers leaving.
Yeah.
Man. And it's nice Oh,
Ronald Holmes,
just-
he was another one. He used to be with
Tell their stories, man. Get
Ronald
them out
Holmes,
there.
and he was one with those guys on the 30th, you know, around the 30th Street with a KG and all them. All they was on them guys on that side.
Wow.
Yeah, like I say, that's just a true story.
There you go.
That's
So
it.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
A lot of history, man, in this town and the streets.
list
though.
go.
Detroit.
I'm just blessed. I'm just
Detroit,
blessed.
well, you live a unique,
I-
a hell of a unique
I think
life.
I'm
huh?
blessed to still be here with the
Yeah.
type of guys that I've been around and damn near dealt with every guy in the city of Detroit
That was about something.
about something.
That
If
was
I didn't
about
know them, they
somebody.
know me.
There you
You
go.
know?
The door
Now,
was
real
open,
quick though,
man.
before we get out of here,
Good
fellas, just
reputation.
a shout out to let me get his name right, because Otis Stanley.
Oldie Stanley.
Stanley.
That was my man.
That
was
Oh,
your man.
Maxwell.
Man, where Max? Where Mad Max at?
Maxwell. Me and him used to hustle together. He's dead now. Oh, you didn't know he was dead? Yeah, Maxwell, you understand, he started getting strung out on that boy and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. Maxwell, you understand, he started hustling with me, which I met him through G. And me and Maxwell started getting money, man. I turned Maxwell around at the time. That's when I had that 76 Fleetwood.
And that's the fella that later people would know the club that used to be Joey's, that was popular and then turned into the Nile.
That's G.
That's G.
That's G, right.
Maxwell was hustling. He lived in Highland Park.
We stayed on Monterey.
Yeah,
Monterey
he stayed
Road.
right. He had
Well,
a
anyway,
nice house in Highland Park.
that's when, right after the time Eddie went to jail, I had this 76 Fleetwood with all them mirrors and shit. Remember that one? Pink raspberry?
Pink.
Right, so me and Maxwell hooked up and I showed him how to do this and do that. And we started getting money. Because, matter of fact, at the time, I didn't know he was copping from Doc Davis and them, brother.
You lying?
Yeah. That's
He
who
was getting it from Doc.
Yeah,
Davis.
yeah. From his brother Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Yeah, because Doc always stayed.
He was in
in the back.
California.
I mean,
So
he always
Dwayne was more out in the front.
Yeah,
and
right.
Doc
right,
was more
right.
in the back.
They was getting money, like I said.
I mean, we know they was getting the
They was
fortune. Now,
getting-
I
they
just
was
say
getting money.
the one you would more likely meet and get the action
Right.
from would be
You wouldn't
Dwayne.
see Doc.
You would never see
No,
Doc.
no.
He was the man in the
I
background.
didn't respect. I didn't respect.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
And he's
the
very
man in the
smart too.
background.
He's very smart.
He was the brains.
And me and him real cool too.
That's right.
And like
That's
getting
right.
back to Maxwell. Maxwell wanted him one of those pimp cars like the one we had. Yeah. So I took him out there to Steve Hopper. I bought him a Lincoln, and I had to put him a top on the back with the diamond in the back and all that.
Everything.
Yeah, he had a blue and gray Lincoln Continental. And like I say, I was just mentioning his name, man. Me and he was getting big money together too.
Yeah, I remember Maxwell.
Yeah,
He was
Maxwell.
crazy.
Yeah.
Man. He fit right in with them.
Yeah.
I'll say that. He was that type. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fat man get to give you up.
Let me tell you something,
Eddie.
Eddie.
Say fuck
Eddie,
that.
Eddie.
60,000. God damn it, I'll move 100,000.
Let me tell you something, Matt, Eddie would talk a motherfucker out of a window with no ladder. And that's no bullshit. And you know what? This motherfucker here is just like his daddy. You know, if he closes his eyes, you think that's Eddie. He's just like his daddy. But he got a long way. His daddy, he had the baddest
I
daddy.
ain't trying to catch it.
I know.
You
I
can't
would want
catch
to.
that
I
act.
know you can't catch
You
it.
can't catch that act, which I had to
Yeah.
learn that.
But like I
told
said,
you, he told me.
You like
Don't
this
try
guy
to
here?
do that. Don't try to do that.
Courtney Jr. and Eddie, hey, I brought all of them up, you understand? I'm talking about they used to be glad to see my ass when I come out there.
We're going to big boys. You
Yeah,
already know what we
that's what I told you.
I'm-
This
somebody
morning.
asked me how long I know
We going to
Butch.
big boys. You
I
damn
said,
right, we going to
I
big
can't
boys.
remember not
First
knowing
thing,
Butch.
They
Yeah,
want daddy,
yeah.
and they got to take me to big boys for y'all.
That's right. That's right.
And Joe Weaver, he was the one
And
that
Joe Weaver-
always had that job.
And the Lord had his arm around him. And that
Joe
motherfucker
still
stand.
around, man.
I don't know, man.
I hope you are still out there, Joe.
Yeah.
Never could forget you, Joe Weaver.
And your brother
Would
Reggie.
love to hear from
And
you.
I'll never forget his
Joe
ass.
was just
He
that
damn near put my ass in
motherfucker,
jail
boy,
on
that
the
goddamn
principal
Ooh,
remember that?
boy.
Putting all the goddamn
All the
photos.
photos up there, every car.
I had about $2 million worth of drugs in the car.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker stopping at every rest stop putting his calling card.
But Joe had sense now. After the show ended for Joe,
Yeah.
he went and got with Bigfoot Eddie Wingate.
Yeah.
You understand? Out there at the hotel in
Mona
Easton.
Lisa, yeah.
At the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
That's the last time I ever seen.
But I'm gonna say this here. I'm gonna close.
At the hotel.
I'm gonna close this here. We got a lot of stories to come with. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm talking about we got stories to come, and it's the truth. It ain't no
Next
motherfucker.
time we do it, we're gonna memorialize Hucklebuck.
Okay,
I
yeah.
got
do
some
some
good
more
ones about
Huck,
Huck. we gotta tell something about Huck.
Yeah, Hucklebuck was a hell of a guy
Huck was
too.
something else. Yeah, he moved to Texas, came back. Huck was one that I can't forget.
No, you
Huck
can't.
is the first one I ever rode in hustle with. When the fat man got out
Let
of
me show you
jail,
something. Let me see when I find it.
Huck was there.
Yeah, I find this. Yeah.
Junior
30-year career on his own, being in the streets and all of it. Check out Real True Street Crimes. Since we got in the audience here, don't forget Jelani's Tasting Table. You can check him out online. Hot young chef out here in the Midwest doing this thing.
Eat dinner with us on Sunday.
420.
Jelani's Tasting Table on Sunday afternoon. We post Eat Sunday Dinner with us. Them caramel chicken wings and them fish taco with that lime sour cream will knock you out. So check us out Sunday. Look for our post and eat Sunday dinner with us. Jelani's Tasting Table.
So y'all make sure y'all do that. As you see, we keeping it going here at the family. So it is all good. Some of this will be the first original content on the Motown Mafia podcast. So we getting our game together. We got Scott coming back. We're gonna try to. Brother Eddie's still in town.
Let me say
Unc's
this
still.
now. I can't just do it.
Go ahead.
We got a dynamite attorney now, Brittany Simmons.
You hear that? Brittany Simmons, attorney Brittany Simmons.
Check out Brittany Simmons, a dynamite attorney, and one more attorney. One more, we got Clarence and Mac Loud. They got a loud delivery business. Look them up online and check them out.
Say that one more time.
Loud Delivery, Clarence and Mac Cav. Look them up online, and we got Brittany Simmons, attorney at law. If you need some help, check her out, and she shall help you out. Check her out, she'll help you out. Thank you to all. Peace and love.
Peace and love. And last little comment. Thank you to our new sponsors. That is Bags and Bundles, premier hair shop located on West 7 Mile. That's 16311 West 7 Mile. We thank you for your support, Bags and Bundles. So, good take. Appreciate you guys. It's your man, CB Jr. We're out of here. Motown Mafia podcast. It is now happening. Peace. It was just time to really tell a great untold Detroit story because it kind of covers Detroit at its zenith.
Very interesting story.
We decided that we were gonna make a movie.
All right, Rich Rossi with you with Motown Mafia. I'm with Courtney.
Louis Stevens,
Courtney Brown.
Courtney Brown Jr.
And Alan Al Prophet Bradley.
And this is an entrepreneurial, inspirational story too, because again, you know, I'm a real estate retail guy. You know, that's what my skill set is. But I'm a businessman, so I was like, you know, we're gonna do it. You know, sometimes when you got a dream, you won't have all the answers on how you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
What made this one unique was not so much the crime, but the intertwining with Detroit's history and the Motown era and kind of the economic decline of Detroit. And it's really the story of a family. And from some perspectives, it's has a happy ending, like you said. For others, it didn't have a happy ending.
Right.